the issue with these tracks is you don't usually have a count in, and you can't just like start the track and start playing piano at the same time. You're always going to miss the beginning of the track. So before I create like an intro and whatnot, I need to figure out, where does the bass line even start? Do I need to add drums over that bass line so I can hear it better? What do I need to do? Okay, so the bass is playing from the beginning. I'm also noting, what does the intro look like here? I'm holding on your rope. So I'm basically going through that chord progression twice. So I'm going to go to my lyric sheet. I'm going to write down intro, 2 rounds. 2 rounds to me, just, again, you write down whatever works for you. But to me, that means going through this chord progression twice. Again. I'm holding on a rope. And then it's the song starts, right? So I know that this is my intro. Hey Voxstar, and welcome to From Singer to Artist. I'm Lara Chapman, award-winning singer and songwriter turned viral vocal coach and the host of this show. At VoxTape Studios, we help singers from all over the world level up their voices by teaching them the 3 fundamental skills all singers need: technique, awareness, and artistry. Whether you're looking to go pro or just develop your voice for fun, my team and I are here to help. Check the link in the description to book your first session or grab some of our other resources. Alrighty, are you ready? Let's get started. It's been 6+ years since I have been a gigging musician, meaning since I've been around town playing bar and restaurant types of gigs where you're playing a lot of cover songs and things like that. But I pretty recently got a pretty sweet gig with a hotel in the Dominican Republic where I'll be performing for about an hour to an hour and a half once a day for a week in exchange for an all-inclusive stay there. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to say yes to this because I love traveling, and if I don't have to pay for it, that's amazing. So I'm really excited to do this gig. I am leaving very soon, and actually by the time this video comes out, I will probably already be home again, so I can fill you in on how the experience actually went, because I don't know yet, but I'm excited for it. But obviously, it's been more than 6 years since I have played gigs, since I've played cover songs. I feel very comfortable doing that, but I was like, you know what? I want to make sure that I get invited back just in case I really like it. I can always say no if I don't like it, but I don't have a feeling that that's going to happen. But anyways, I want to make sure that, you know, I would get invited back in case I wanted to go back and do it again. And so I was like, all right, I need to step up my game here a little bit and not just, you know, play a couple chords on my piano and sing at the same time and call it a day, because my piano skills are pretty limited and my guitar skills are even worse. So I'm like, okay, how can I step up my game from what I was doing back in 2019? So not only am I, you know, trying to get back into what I was doing 6 years ago, but also I'm trying to do better than what I did back then. So I was like, all right, easiest thing for me to do, if it's just going to be myself and I don't have other people playing with me, is getting some tracks. And that's what today is all about. Figuring out how to sing with tracks so that you have a fuller sound when you are performing. And at first I was a little bit intimidated by the whole process, but I was like, okay, I think I have all the tools that I need to make this work. And I did eventually figure out how to do it. So let's first go over the tools that you will need to create your own tracks. And by the way, when I say singing with tracks, I don't mean just hitting play on a karaoke track and just singing along to that. There's nothing wrong with that, but that is not what I said I was going to be doing. So I don't want to just do that and not play piano at all and just sing to a karaoke track. But I want a fuller sound. So what I mean is a complementary track to my piano playing and singing to get a fuller sound. So for me, what I'm looking for is drums and bass only, maybe the occasional special effect or something that I want to keep in the track that really makes the track what what it is essentially, and I can't play it on a piano. It wouldn't sound good, or I don't have the skill set to do it. So anyways, but no chords, no nothing. I'm going to be playing that live on a piano, or a keyboard rather. So anyways, that's what I mean by creating tracks to sing along to. Not just a karaoke track that you can find off of YouTube, but rather taking that track and making it your own. So let's first talk about the tools that you will need to make this happen, to make your own tracks happen. You will need YouTube, because you're going to take karaoke tracks off of YouTube, or even full on songs off of YouTube. Then you will need some sort of YouTube to MP3 converter. I personally use I think it's called Media Human. Yes, Media Human YouTube to MP3 converter. So that way I can get the video or the audio rather, off of YouTube and download it as an MP3 file. Then what I used as well is this app called Moises. Moises, I'm going to show you how it works in just a second, but basically it separates all the different instruments, and then I can mute and unmute certain instruments. I can change the key of it. I can change the tempo of it so that I can make it my own if I want to, give it my own flair. So Moises is where you're actually going to create that track. Then technically you could stop there, but I always take it a level further, and I then also take that track that I created, which just drums and bass, for example, from Moises. I upload that into Logic, my DAW, my DAW, digital audio workstation. Some people use GarageBand or Pro Tools or FL Studios or not Adobe. That's that's Photoshop. Ableton. Thank you. Okay. Ableton. So there's a lot of different DAWs that you can use. I personally use Logic Pro X, but that's not free. All the other tools that I was talking about are free. Moises has a paid version, which I definitely recommend you get if you're making your own tracks. But anyways, so those are the tools that you need to create the track. And then to create a set list and have everything in one place, I found this really cool app called Stage Tracks with 2 X's at the end instead of CK. And I will have this on my iPad. And then I have my iPad plugged into my PA system. I have a PA system set up here, but I'm not going to bring that. The hotel has a PA system. So I'll just plug my iPad into the PA system, and then the PA system will play the tracks while I'll have my lyrics and my chords scroll automatically together with the track in the app. So again, I'm going to show you how to use all these different things. I just quickly wanted to show you what goes into the process, because it is a little bit of a process, and maybe there's an easier way to do it, but I found this process to work really well for me. So let me actually walk you through this process of creating a track that you can use then to sing along to, play along to get yourself a fuller sound without just singing to karaoke tracks. So the first step is to actually pick a song. I already have in my app, you'll see I already have over 60 songs in there because, I went through this process before teaching you about it. But the song that I picked for this video is Apologize by One Republic, because that was just the next song on my list that I wanted to do and that I haven't gotten around to yet. So I was like, all right, let's just use this song. So I already have my lyrics and my chord progression pulled out. What I would usually do is figure out, can I play these chords? Can I make this happen? Because again, I'm not a great keyboard player by any means. I can play simple chords, and if it's easy enough for me to play, I'll go ahead and do this. I'll also make sure that the key is right for me as well. Okay, so I have the karaoke track pulled up here so I can see, do I like the original key of this song or do I want to change it? I'm just gonna sing along to it to figure that out. I'm holding on your rope, got me 10 feet off the ground. I'm hearing what you say, but I just can't make a sound. You tell me that you need me, then you go and cut me out. But wait, tell me that you're sorry, didn't think I'd turn around and say But it's too late to apologize. It's too late. Okay, so that's pretty much the whole song, like as far as range goes. It's fine. I can totally sing this in the original key, but I could also take it a little bit higher. So I don't have perfect pitch, and I don't know what this key is just listening to the song. So, but the cool thing is Moises will actually tell you what key the song is in, and it'll even tell you the chord progression. I love Moises. It's so good. But anyways, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to copy this link, the YouTube URL link, and I'm going to pop that into my YouTube to MP3 conversion, paste the link in here, and then download it. I already did this, so you would just paste in the link and then download it, and then it's on your computer as an MP3 file. Once you have that, you open up Moises, you click on New, you drag and drop your file in here. Here, Timberland, One Republic. There you go. And now here I can choose the separation. Basically, what that means is what are all the different tracks that Moises is going to create for me. So I wanted to separate the vocals. Now this is already a karaoke track. It's not going to have vocals on it, but sometimes karaoke tracks have backup vocals on there. So definitely, you know, I want to separate the vocals. And then usually I click on these 5 options: vocals, guitar, bass, drums, and keys. For what I want to do, this is plenty. So then all I need to do is hit submit. Now, again, I actually already did this, so I don't need to do this again. Once you hit submit, it'll take like a minute or two to, you know, analyze the file and everything. And so you can see here, this is my song. It tells me the BPM. It's 118. That's the tempo. It tells me the key. It's in C minor. And it tells me the duration. So if I click into this and then open it up, so this is what it looks like in here now. I can see the different tracks. Like I can see the vocals, drums, bass, guitar, keys, and then you have other. This is just like sounds that it didn't really recognize. It didn't really know what to do with it. And then you have a smart metronome. Like if you're practicing, you can have that click, but I don't need that for my purposes. Then up here, I can see, again, the BPM. I can see the key. And I can see like a count-in. If I need a count-in, I don't need that. So I see the key is C minor. If I just play it here and I look down here in this corner, the bottom right corner, it'll tell me what chords are being played. C minor, F minor, E flat, and B flat. Amazing. It tells me the chord progression. Now, like I said, I think like I can totally sing this in the original key, but I would like to sing it just a little bit higher to just get my voice out a little bit more. So what I can do now is I can click up into song key again, and I can click on plus and I can click on minus. This is going to change the key of the song. So I'm going to click on, because I don't want to play in C sharp minor, I'm going to click on 2 plus. So that's D minor. Let's now see what that sounds like. Different, right? So this is definitely higher than what it was before. So I'm going to go with D minor, at least for now. I can always change it later if I want to. Now, this whole piano playing, I don't want to play that, or I don't want the track to play it, because I'm going to play this myself. Holding on your rope got me 10 feet off the ground. I can manage to play that. That's just an arpeggio. I can totally do that. No problem. So now I need to figure out which ones of these parts, like of these instruments, of these stems, do I want to keep. So I definitely want to mute the vocals, though I can see there's nothing in the vocals. I don't really need to do that, but I'm still going to mute it anyways, just in case. I definitely want the drums. I also want the bass. I don't want the guitar. I don't want the keys. And I don't know what other is. We can see. Okay, so it didn't recognize this as keys. It recognized this as other. So I'm going to definitely mute that because I don't want that to be played. Let's see what the bass only sounds like. There you go. It's just the bass line. It goes down to E but instead of C, but it doesn't really matter. The chords are the same. The bass line is just a little different. So I can hear the bass line. And then here, once it gets to maybe the chorus, I don't know. There you go. Now I have the drums. And that's all I need. Let's see what the keys are playing. I could keep that in there, but I don't think that's necessary because I'm gonna, again, be playing this. So I don't think we really need that. Because I don't, like, the goal is not to make it sound like, at least my goal here. You figure out what your goal is. But my goal here is not to make this track sound just like the original. My goal here is to just have some sort of drums and bass behind me to get a fuller sound. So I don't think all these like sounds here, I'll need those. I want to hear what this guitar track is playing here. I don't think I need this. I'm just gonna mute it for now. So now that I have like kind of the base of what I'm looking for, now what I like to do is I go through the karaoke track and basically go through the format of it so I can see when does the bass line start. Because the issue with these tracks is you don't usually have a count in, and you can't just like start the track and start playing piano at the same time. You're always gonna miss the beginning of the track. So before I create like an intro and whatnot, I need to figure out, where does the bass line even start? Do I need to add drums over that bass line so I can hear it better? What do I need to do? So let's just listen here again from the beginning. Okay, so the bass is playing from the beginning. Oops. I'm also noting, what does the intro look like here? I'm holding on your rope. So I'm basically going through that chord progression twice. So I'm going to go to my lyric sheet. I'm going to write down intro, 2 rounds. 2 rounds to me, just, again, you write down whatever works for you. But to me, that means going through this chord progression twice. Again. I'm holding on a rope. And then it's the song starts, right? So I know that this is my intro. And again, like I said, I'm going to be using Logic to customize my track, which I'm very excited about. But for now, that's what it is. I can always go in and change that. If I only want to do 1 round, I can only do 1 round. If I want to add like a little count in, I can do that as well. But let me not jump my guns here just yet. So I'm just going to play the song together to this track in Moises, just to see what does it sound like? What do we get? Mm-hmm. It's a little difficult to hear that bass. It's really quiet. I'm holding on a rope, got me 10 feet off the ground. I'm hearing what you say, but I just can't make a sound. Tell me that you need me, and you go and cut me down. But wait, tell me that you're sorry, didn't think I'd turn around and say that it's too late. Okay, so yeah, I was behind a little bit because I literally could not hear the bass at all. When you have a PA system, you don't really have that problem. But this was good for me to see, like, oh, okay, I'm struggling to hear it. So maybe I need some sort of drum, or maybe even just like a shaker or something over that bass line, just to make sure I can definitely hear it. This is just like, if I'm going to end up doing that, that would just be for me as like a safety net, because you never know with these different PA systems what you can hear, like what the setup is, especially because I believe I'm mostly going to be playing outside. You never know what it's going to sound like. And I do need to make sure that I can hear that bass. So I might just add like a little shaker or something to that. But let's continue with the rest of the song here. Too late to apologize. It's too late. I said it's too late to apologize. It's too late. Oh, oh. Take another chance, take a fall, take a shot for you. Like a heart needs to be, but there's nothing new. Yeah, yeah. I loved you with a fire, and now it's turning blue. You say, sorry, an angel, heaven let me think it was you, but I'm afraid it's too late to apologize. It's too late. It's too late. Oh, this is, I don't really know what happens here because I don't really think there's a bridge. Too late to apologize. It's too late. Me 10 feet off the ground. The ground. Does it end on F? Probably. Oh, the ground. I think it does. There's obviously no more playing, no more nothing. The ending is pretty much just a cappella, so it doesn't give me any chords. This is when I like to use ultimate guitar. I just type in. I can show you here real quick. Oh, oops. Wrong. Here, ultimate guitar. There you go. You can see this is the chord progression. I can also easily change the key of this in here. Like you see, I clicked on +5 to get to the key that I was looking for, and boom, I have the chord progression. So I can always go down here, 10 feet off the ground. There you go. See, F is that last chord. So that confirms it as well. The chords are not always accurate on Moises, and they're also not always accurate on ultimate guitar, but with the combination of the two, you're usually fine. And also this is literally just a 4-chord song, so that makes it a little bit easier to play than other stuff. So that's how I got the chord progression from ultimate guitar. And again, Moises tells me as well what the chord progression is. And then I just write it down on my little sheet here. Now it's literally just D minor, B flat, F, and C through the entire thing. So makes it a little bit easy. What I like to do is I like to make the It's Too Late to Apologize, like the chorus of each song, I like to make that bold so I can see a little bit better what that is. And then here we have a bridge that's not on my lyric sheet yet. And by the way, the lyrics, I usually get the lyrics from AZ Lyrics, and then I just copy paste it in there, and then boom, you're done. But you can find the lyrics anywhere online, really. And then anyway, so here we have the bridge, which I think I'm just gonna do like, and if I am singing a song, I've never actually done this one will be new on my list. If I'm not sure, I will just go to Spotify or whatever, wherever you listen to songs. You can also just use YouTube and type in the song and see what the actual bridge is. Yeah, it's just an instrumental bridge. And that's it, right? So it's just an instrumental bridge. So I'm just going to do those or or whatever. I'm just going to do those in that bridge. And then the chorus happens twice again. And then you just have that last line. I'm holding on a rope, got me 10 feet off the ground. Now, the chord progression, if it's the same thing throughout the whole song, because I'm still not a great piano player, and I want to make sure that I'm not like getting lost in the song and then be like, oh my God, I don't know what the next chord is. I'm just going to, every time like the chorus starts again, I'm just going to pop in that chord progression in here over each chorus just to make sure that I have it. Okay, so awesome. Next step is I have my track the way I need it, at least from what I can do in Moises. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on export. So make sure you mute all the tracks that you don't want to play. So they will turn gray and what is playing is blue. So I want this, and then I'm going to click on export mix. You have to, if you change the key of it, you have to export it in the mix. If you export the individual track, it's not going to recognize the key change. I don't know why. Maybe that's a bug. I'm not sure. But I'm just going to click on export mix, and then that's thinking a little bit. And then I'm just going to go ahead and save it. I never changed the name of the file that it randomly creates because sometimes that gives it some issues where it doesn't like actually properly save it then. So I always just keep the name when I first save it, and then I can always go in and change it later. But anyways, so we're saving it now. What I also sometimes do if I have a case where I'm like, hey, I want to remove the bass, but I want to keep the drums, or I want to just duplicate the drum part so I can add the drum part over my bass. And I have it and there is a key change, so I need to make sure that the key change still is there, but I only want one instrument. I will just go in and mute everything that I don't want, and then still just export as mix to make sure the key change is there, because otherwise it's going to mess with your key change. Now, if you're using a DAW, like Logic, what I'm going to be using, what I'm going to be showing you, I can also change the key really easily in there. So it's not that big of a deal, but just make sure that you're exporting in the right key. Okay. Anyways, so I have my file. Next step, open Logic. So in here, once you have a session open, or maybe I'll show you here real quick how you can like actually open a new session. So I'm just going to click on File, Open, or like New, and then I'm going to create 2 tracks. And then boom, this is what it looks like when I first open it. So all I need to do now is pop in this file that I just created and drag and drop it in there. Luckily, Moises tells me what the BPM is. It's 118, so I'm going to adjust the BPM up here. And then I'm going to make sure it lines up with the downbeats here, so that if I'm playing it with a click, it works, right? There you go. So there you go. That's the right BPM. Sometimes it's not perfect. Sometimes like the BPM is like in between BPMs. So then, just try and do your best. But anyways, this is what I like here. It works with just the 118. Now, like I said, I like the track the way it is. Like, I like the layout of it. I like the intro that it has. I like, how many choruses are being played and so forth. So I don't really want to make any structural changes to the song, which I have definitely done before when it's like a 5-minute song. It has the chorus repeats a million times at the end, and it's just me playing by myself, not with a full band. I don't want to do that. So I would just like cut the ending short. I've done that a million times with the 60 other tracks that I've created. But for this track, I want to keep it. I just want either just like a shaker over that over that bass line so that I can hear it, because it was really hard to hear the bass line. Just to make sure I can hear something. Again, I have 2 options here. I can either just add a shaker to it and see if I can find a shaker in my loop library that I have on Logic to see if I can make that work there. Or if I can't find anything that I like, I would just export just the drums and then add the drums over that first verse as well. But let me see if I can find something here in my loop. So I'm just going to click on loops and then instrument, percussion, and then shaker. So then all I need to do is go through these million shakers. And that's not quite the right sound, but that's kind of what I'm looking for. Not maracas. And that's more like the sound, but it's not the right rhythm. This one's pretty close, but it's a little fast. Like, not fast in the sense of tempo. The cool thing, by the way, about these loops is it'll automatically adjust to your BPM. But like, I was hoping for something a little less busy. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of these. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we like. Do we like something like this? So like this could work. Let's see what this one sounds like. No, not you. I don't like that. No. Okay. So I like this shaker. Let me see if I can. So, okay. I'm going to get a little creative here. Let me just grab my computer over here so it's a little bit easier to actually use it. So what I'm trying to do here is see if I can just get the big ones, those, if I can get those just on beat 2 and 4 and not 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm just gonna make some cuts here. Oh, here, scissor tool. Cut this and cut this. I'm gonna close the loop section over here. I just want to see here real quick what this sounds like. Okay, so that could work. And then I'm just going to duplicate this over here. Oops. Ha! Here, that sounds different. I like it. So now I just need to continue doing this. I could also... Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and yeah, and just duplicate it like this. Is that right? I think this is right. Let's see. There you go. I might want this first one here on beat 1, 2. Ta-da! Now I have a shaker that I'm looking for. Now all I need to do is duplicate this for the whole thing here. Did I do that right? Hold on. Yes, I did. Okay. Copy paste is basically what I'm doing, right? Just keep going till the chorus, which is coming up here. So let's see. Hold on. No, it's right. Okay, so now I have the track how I want it. Now my question is just, do I need some sort of count in so that I'm not missing that downbeat, right? So maybe just like maybe just one bar is enough. So it's like a dun 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 and so forth. I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna see if I can get by with just one bar, and then I'm gonna move this back to actually hold on. I usually with these tracks I like to start on bar 2 instead of bar 1, so that when I press play I have one whole bar that plays at just silence, and then I have that one bar intro, and then it just makes sure that I have enough time between each song to get to where I need to go. And then see like all this dead space here at the end. I'm just going to cut that as well. But I do know that I still have the holding on a rope got me 10 feet off the ground. So I probably need to end the track here on bar 93 in this case. Come on. Okay, well then don't. Just delete. Okay, perfect. So this is probably where the song will end with a couple seconds extra. And then boom. Now I move this to just to show logic that this is where the song ends. Now, before I forget, I want to go to my lyric page here again, and I'm going to add count in one bar. I like to add that in here so that I know what the track is, because yes, I remember right now because I'm making the track right now. But when I'm in the middle of a set in 4 weeks from now, actually I'm going in 10 days. But you know, I will not remember what the count in and intro was for every song. So I'm going to make sure that I write it down so that I don't have to remember, because there's going to be like 70 or 80 songs. So anyways, got this. I got my track ready here in Logic. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna bounce it, bounce, baby. Okay. And I'm gonna write down apologize. I'm gonna write down one republic. And I like to call it stereo because this is a stereo file. How do I know that this is a stereo file? You see the two, like there's two waveforms that tells me that it's stereo. If you can't see it, if it just looks like this, it just makes sure that you give it enough space to actually pop open as two. Okay, a mono file will look like just this here, even when it's big. Okay, so I also like to create a mono file just in case as well. But to do that, I now need to take my new file, pop this in here, delete all of this because I don't need this anymore. To convert this into mono, if you have need for a mono file, because if I'm opening it up, I can still see that. And we're gonna cut the turning this into mono. We're just gonna leave it as this. Replace. Okay, amazing. We have the track. Now we need to get that track into the Stage Tracks app now that we have it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go and upload this into my Google Drive folder. Stereo right here. And then I need my app. So I'm going to put down my computer because I don't need you no more. Thank you for your services. Okay. iPad. So in here, and why do I have this on my iPad? Because I'm going to be using my iPad. I'm actually going to pop it in right over there so that I can, see the lyrics, see the chords and everything that I need as I'm playing. But anyways, I'm going to open Stage Tracks right here. And so here are the songs that I was already working on. So you can see 62 songs I already have in here, which is awesome. But yours is probably going to look empty. And I think you get 5 songs for free. And then you would have to buy the paid version, which is literally a one-time payment of $29. What a no-brainer. Best money I've ever spent. But anyways, so all you got to do once you're in here is click on the little plus sign in the top left corner. And then I'm going to import my song from my Google Drive folder, essentially. So from my cloud. So I just clicked on Google Drive folder. And then now I can see here, my song Apologize is right here. So you just need to like find your folder where it is. If you have it directly stored on your iPad, you can also import it like that. It's really up to you. So now I can see the song is right here. And if I just open it and I just click on this, it's empty. So what I actually want to do here is I want to adjust it a little bit so that it looks pretty and that I can actually include my lyrics and my chord progression and everything right here in the app. So I'm going to click on that little eye icon, that info icon. I'm going to change the name because the title is just Apologize. And then the band is One Republic. Sure, it's Timberland, but whatever. I'm going to change the BPM. It needs to know that because of the scroll speed, which is super cool. I love that it does that. And you can also add a metronome if you want to. I'm not going to do that. I don't need a metronome. But then you can add it to a playlist. So you can create your own playlists. I actually haven't gotten this far yet. This is a different video on how to create playlists. Like as far as like what songs should you pick. But anyways, you can create playlists and add your songs to different playlists. And so you have, you know, you don't have to think about, oh, what song do I want to play next? You can just have it right there in your playlist. But then edit lyrics. This is the cool part. So I have my lyrics already in a Google document. So it's here in this one. I just need to scroll down to get to where the song is because this document is like 120 pages just full of lyrics and chord progressions. So please hold while I scroll. But why I put it in here first and not just directly into the Stage Tracks app, it's because I already had lyrics and chord progressions before I knew about Stage Tracks. That's why. But also, I can just easily go in here now and copy the lyrics, copy, and paste that into my Stage Tracks app. And then I have it right there as well. Paste. Boom. There it is. So we have count-in is 1 bar, intro is 2 rounds, then I have the chord progression, and I see all the different sections. I can add things, remove things, however, whatever notes I need right in here. And then once I have this, I'm going to click save. Now, let's say you didn't do the whole like customization inside of Logic or any other DAW. You just used the direct karaoke track. And there was like a bunch of dead space in the beginning and a bunch of dead space at the end. You can actually tell it right here under playback and trim if you want it to start later or if you want it to stop earlier or both, which is super, 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 super cool. I love that. I don't need this for this track here because I did that customization inside of Logic, but I could do it right in here, which is great. You just can't add like shakers and things like that to your track. So you obviously can't do that in here. But anyways, you can adjust anything else that you want to adjust. I literally don't touch any of that. And then I'm just going to click done. And now if I click into Apologize, boom, there's the lyrics. And now I'm just, I'm going to change the text size so that it's a little bigger so that when the iPad is a little bit further away from me, I can still see it. And I'm going to change the scroll speeds to 1.3. This is from just experience from playing around with this app is what I have seemed to like the most, 1.3. But anyways, I'm going to pop this in over here. Hold on one second. So I have my iPad there and all I need to do now is press play and see if it works, if it is exactly how I want it to be or not, or if I need to make any adjustments. There's the shaker. It's because I literally can't hear the bass. I can only hear the shaker, so I'm glad I added that. Holding on a rope got me 10 feet off the ground. I'm hearing what you say, but I guess we haven't gotten to the scrolling yet. Take a shot for you, but you'll see it soon. Start scrolling. I need you like a heart, need a beat, but there's nothing new. Yeah, I loved you like a fire, and now it's turning blue. And you say sorry like an angel, heaven let me think was you, but I'm afraid it's too late to apologize. I need to practice these transitions a little bit, but there it is scrolling now. It's too late to apologize. It's too late. Oh, and so forth, right? So it just keeps going, and you can hear the tracks playing. Now I can actually hear the bass now that I'm not playing anymore. So I'm glad I added that shaker. But I don't know what the situation there is gonna be, so I'm glad I added that. But anyways, you can just go through the whole song, and at the end it'll just stop, and then boom, you have it all done. There you have your track. Yes, it is a little bit of a process, but like I can completely customize these tracks however I want them, which is really, really nice and super cool, and makes me feel really excited about this opportunity to play in the Dominican Republic at a beautiful hotel. I can't wait to tell you all about how it went. I'll be sure to update you on the Instagram, so go check that out there, follow us there. But that's how you make tracks, and then you just rinse and repeat with any of the other tracks that you want. And again, you don't need to do that extra step in Logic. I just like to do it to completely customize it, but you could use just Moises and leave it there. But anyways, that is it for today. I hope this was helpful. Now go and make your tracks and, really spice up all of your songs, all your bar gigs, restaurant gigs, hotel gigs, whatever kinds of gigs where you're playing cover songs. This is a really great way to do it. I'm really excited about it, and I hope that this was helpful. And that's it for today. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.